Because right now we have to tell you about a way that you can take care of your families financially. It's one way that we show love, right? I mean, it's just the way that we live in this country.
More important than ever,
Passing along what we have, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you make and you amass wealth, or most people try to. It's very hard these days.
We try to.
But then you pass it along to those you love. Money is an important conversation to have, though. If you're amassing this wealth and planning to give it to those that you love, it's probably a good idea to talk to your loved ones about this. A new study confirmed this, that nearly 8 out of 10 people, they do intend to leave their wealth and assets to their families after they die, but the conversation is tricky.
That's a point. Yeah, actually, you know what? A friend of mine was just in town and she was saying she has to have this conversation with her parents.
Yeah.
And was like, how do you do it? So did you find out how we did it, Emily?
I did. I talked to an expert over at Ameriprise, and she gave me some really great tips to having those conversations. Take a look at this.
Now, we all know, just in general, that communication is key to most relationships. And how can it lead to some complications down the line if we're not communicating these kinds of things with our family in terms of financials?
Well, one of the things that most people want is to have good relationships among the next generation, and they have concerns about potential causes of disagreement or tensions. In particular, we see that there can be concern if somebody's intending to leave inheritance in ways that they think are fair but not necessarily equal. And so, although most people in our study who wanted to leave an inheritance said they intend to leave it fairly equally to the next generation, there are situations, and there were about 16% of people who said, I might do that a little bit unequally. They maybe take into account different financial circumstances. Say if you've got a couple of adult children who have pretty different earning potential or pretty different financial situations, you may have an allocation that you think is fair, even if it isn't equal. And communicating that rationale to people can help the next generation understand and be set up to have more harmony as they move forward together. So even if there are things that might feel a little bit sticky, I do encourage people to have those open lines of communication that you mentioned.
One thing that can be pretty tricky is real estate. What do people need to know about transferring those kinds of assets?
Passing down real estate is something many people wish to do or intend to do. And in fact, 85% of people who plan to leave real estate, so it will be their primary residence, the place they're living now. From our study, we know people who have already inherited real estate said sometimes it does not go smoothly, and they have some advice. So some tips that I think we can all learn from. Number one, to have a detailed plan in place in advance. Number two, make sure you've involved the right professionals, including an estate planning attorney, but also a tax professional and a financial advisor can all help, particularly that you're doing all you can to minimize the impact of taxes on the gifts that you're going to be giving. And then last but not least, share details about the property itself. Things like, when was the roof last replaced? Where is the deed? If it's a vacation home, does somebody else get involved in the maintenance that you need to be able to contact? Those are all the logistical details that can be really helpful to the next generation if they've been documented and shared ideally in advance. And those are all tips to make that transition of real estate to the next generation go a lot more smoothly.
This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to generational finances and passing along your assets to the next generation. So where do folks go if they want more information or they just like to take a look at your survey?
We have more survey findings at our website, as well as tips for how to have those family conversations, and it's ameriprise.com/family.
Marcy Keckler, thank you again for being on AM Buffalo.
Thank you.
I absolutely loved having that conversation with Marcy. She's so knowledgeable. And so if you'd like more information, I just have to say this again. There's that address again, ameriprise.com/family.